Welcome back to 5 Minute Fantasy Football, fantasy designed for the busy fantasy player, presented to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Today, we're going to talk about our wide receiver rankings. We're going to do tiers, but before we get into our list, make sure that you go to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code FFSGPN, and they'll double your first deposit. So before we get into the receiver rankings for 2024, let's look into 2023 and tell us what can help us predict the 2024 top receivers. The first, who was on the list? CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, A.J. Brown, Puka Nacua. That's your top six. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Deebo Samuel, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Adams after that. So what are some things that they had in common? It's target share. You look at the guys that had the top target share on their team, and you're looking at Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown. Those guys all had 30% or more of their team's target share. CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs. Not all six of these guys were on great offenses. Garrett Wilson's offense was one of the worst in the history of the NFL, and he still ended up being one of the top guys because of this. Puka Nacua, DeAndre Hopkins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Michael Pittman Jr., DJ Moore, Adam Thielen, Mike Evans. Again, the top guys were the ones that were the top target on their team, and they were the top target by a large margin. What's another thing? You're looking at air yards. DeAndre Hopkins had 1,928 air yards. What the difference is here is these guys are getting more points per catch because of they're getting it down the field. They're not just dinking, dunking, 3 or 4 yards down the field. They're getting yards, 17 yards per catch, 18 yards per catch. So let's look at the rankings for this year. And my top tier, that is obvious. You have Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. My question for you is Justin Jefferson still in the top 5? You can make an argument for A.J. Brown. You can make an argument with Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and CeeDee Lamb. I got him right there at 5. But I can see an argument where you talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown right there. I still believe in Justin Jefferson, even with Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. So my top 6 is CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then here's my 7 through 12. I have Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson. Then I have you have Devontae Adams, Brandon Ayuk, Drake London, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Get it, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a rookie, but he is, again, the clear-cut number 1. I could see him getting a 30% target share. Then my next guys, this is the wide receiver 2s. You could probably select 20 players and say these are wide receiver 2s. There's only 12 of them by the rankings, but there's such a close gap here. But Chris Olave, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Nico Collins, George Pickens, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, Devonta Smith. You have Amari Cooper and T. Higgins. T. Higgins is very interesting. The contract situation, if he were to get hurt, how does he handle that? Does he go and try to have a great season after a terrible 2023? T. Higgins' contract situation is going to be very interesting. He could still try to force his way out in a trade. We've seen that happen. So that's one to watch, and that will definitely have an effect on not only him, but Jamar Chase, but also the guys behind him. You have Jermaine Burton, Andre Slavis, who are guys that could jump in there if T. Higgins were to get traded. Cooper Kupp, he's been the wide receiver 1 overall just a few years ago. He's 2 years removed from an ACL. I think he's firmly in this spot. Puka Nacua just kind of takes him down a little bit because Puka's emerging. Then Michael Pittman Jr., what happens this year under Anthony Richardson? The next tier, I have Jaden Reed, Keenan Allen, Zay Flowers, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Malik Neighbors, Stephon Diggs. I love Jaden Reed this year. I think you saw at the end of the year last year, he's a stud. Keenan Allen, he's going to get his more of a PPR play, but I still think he's a play. Then my last tier is Deebo Samuel, Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, Tank Dell, Cortland Sutton, Keon Coleman, and Calvin Ridley. Let me know what you think. This is 5 Minute Fantasy Football. Good luck this season.